Music producers, it's Curtis King of Airbit.com here with a quick rant. Music producers, we gotta do better, my friends.
Airbit.com.
Producers, I don't know if you were paying attention to this last week, but some very, very noteworthy things happen in the producer community, especially when it affects more so the producers who are not necessarily the legends in the game, but the producers who are on the up and coming, or producers who are really within the realm of the leasing business. Some things happened this week that are worthy of your attention. The first one, maybe you saw it, maybe you didn't, but French Montana, a rapper from the East Coast, was basically on the Breakfast Club, very popular show, and they asked him a question about one of his biggest songs that's out right now featuring Sway Lee called Unforgettable. And they said, hey, who's the producer on that song? Charlamagne the God asked him, who's the producer on that song? And he said, man, it was, he could not think of the name. He had to ask somebody else in the room to give him the name of the producer. One of his biggest hits. He does not know the producer's name. Now, the second thing that happened was a producer named MilanMakesBeats, who produced for Playboi Carti, basically came out on Twitter and all the social medias and said that Playboi Carti was threatening him, and you know, he hadn't been paid for some beats that he had made, and Playboi Carti had blew up, and he's not even looking back to try to pay him. He feels like he's entitled to some money. This news got over to DJ Academics. MilanMakesBeats talked to Academics for about 40 minutes on a live stream and basically just laid out everything that he wanted. He wanted $50K from Playboi Carti, and he just felt like he was disrespected. His life was threatened and all this other stuff that's going on. And after that interview with DJ Academics, it seems that he was just kind of learning more about the music business on the fly. It sounds like a very intelligent dude, but it just seems like there's a lot of things that he did not know about the music business, and he was getting a very hard lesson, very hard knock life lesson about this music business. So how do those two things relate outside of them being producers? Let's talk about it. I feel that, and this is not really speaking to the producer in the first example, because it's not his fault that French Montana forgot his name. And not even get down on French Montana. This things happen. When you're on the air and you're thinking about yourself, or you're thinking about your particular project, or you're thinking about all the things that are in your head, things slip your mind. Even though I would probably try my best to remember the producers who made one of my biggest songs in case we need to follow it up with something else. That's just me. But in that particular situation, he's human, this happens. But the producer is, once again, the bottom of the totem pole when it comes to these songs that get huge. And obviously that tide is changing. A lot of producers now, like you think about Sunny Digital, he came out to where I'm at, which is, you know, kind of 40-50 miles away from Los Angeles, and he sold out a venue basically DJing his songs that he produced. And it was really great for him. He's definitely an example of producers that are transitioning to DJing so that they can, you know, establish their brands. And he's really great about his brand. You know him, and he's identifiable by the things that he wears and how he presents himself. And he's definitely the exception to the rule. But from that example, I learned one thing. And then from this other example from MilanMakesBeats, I learned that producers need to do two things, especially in 2017, to be successful. Now, the first thing you need to do, you need to always proactively build your brand, okay? And secondly, we gotta stop playing the victim. Now, obviously there's situations in which producers are done wrong and things are done illegally, and that's a situation in which you wanna get your legal team involved. It's not something that the whole general public needs to have, because typically the general public does not give a darn. I said darn because I'm on Airbit, but they don't give a doggone. They typically care about the artist who's in the front. They care about the person that's the most visible. And no matter what you say, eventually it's gonna be this big hoopla, and then it'll just die off because the artist has a longer lifespan because they're always visible and they're always around. And your beat, you know, they look at you as the bottom of the barrel because it's like, look, you gave me the beat, I made it a hit. And that obviously can be argued up and down, and as a producer myself, you know, I obviously don't feel that way, but I know that this is the way they view things. But what I learned from that is, one, we gotta stop playing the victim, and two, we have to be proactive in establishing our brands. Now, what is a brand for a music producer nowadays? A brand for a music producer is, you know, absolutely from an image standpoint, it's a look. It's absolutely, you know, your sound and the things that you use, from the tag, the producer tag that you use. These are all part of your brand, from your logo. These are all things that make it identifiable who produced this beat and what attitude and what characteristics and what culture is behind that particular beat. It's more than just a beat now. It's these producers who have entire followings and cultures. You have to do that. In 2017, music producers, you cannot afford to just be a bedroom producer introvert. Even in a leasing business, there was a time when you could just lease your beats and be behind a logo and kind of hide behind a logo and never have to show your face and show to be this mysterious character. Guess what? Mysterious characters get forgotten. So now you have to show face. You at least have to have some kind of a paper trail that shows all the different places that you have been, all the different people that you have influenced, all the work that you've put in that justifies somebody putting their hard-earned money into your particular brand. So in 2017, we cannot be introverts anymore. I know producers by nature, we're kind of weird. I know I'm not the exception. I'm definitely a weirdo myself, but we have to be brands. We have to expand beyond just making beats. And what does that look like? So when we have a situation when you have a beat that gets placed, say a rapper that's really got a buzz going for them, say they don't and they do get a buzz. When you have a rapper that's really got it going on for themselves, what do you do if they do take your beat without giving you any money, or maybe you gave it for free and they did take your beat and now they're blown up and they're not trying to pay you. And it looks like you're not gonna get paid. You don't have the money for a legal team. What do you do when your beat gets stolen? Here's my impromptu social media campaign. For starters, jump and be a part of the campaign with them. Don't look at it as you're promoting their song. Look at it as you're promoting your brand. If they don't want to give you credit, do not worry about it. When they post the song up, find all the different people who have commented on that particular song, especially in Twitter or on Facebook or YouTube. Find all the people who commented and just start going in there and responding back to all these comments and saying, hey, I produced this beat. Thank you for showing your love. You want to hear more beats by me? Go to my website. I hope you got a website when something like this goes down, because it's the worst feeling when you get that exposure and can't do nothing about it. You can't do anything about it. So another part of that social media campaign, once you start talking to people who are already interested in the record, you start sharing that traffic. The next thing I would do, make a behind the scenes video of you making the beat. Show a behind the beat video and show the people the process. Show them what it requires for you to make a beat. Show them why you're such an integral part of this process. Show them why this song is not this song if this producer doesn't come up with the ideas that they come up with. So all the little melodies people are singing along and all the melodies that people are humming, guess who created those initially? It was you. So show people that part of you. Another part of your social media campaign or your impromptu social media campaign is, you start using that traffic by hashtagging this artist's name. You basically want to take advantage of all the free traffic you have circulating around your name and that particular song that has been either stolen. You want to take full advantage of your name having this high visibility. You want to try to use this to balance out opportunities for yourself, including when some of these blogs may want to interview you because it's such a big song, they can't even get access to the artist, but they have access to you. This is an opportunity for you to start doing some cross promotion and really get yourself an opportunity to look at this. I had a DJ tell me one time, one of my OGs told me, he said, use these opportunities when you don't get paid, like as if somebody put a freeway billboard, like on the most busiest freeway, they put a billboard up across that has your name that says, I produced this. Use it as free promotion and like it's a billboard on the busiest freeway in your city. And when you start looking at it like that, you start to get strategic. Don't get mad, get strategic. And so when I say producers, we have to stop being introverts, I also want to say we have to stop being victims. Because at the end of the day, we're in control of our own destiny. And whenever we make music available online, we're leaving ourselves the opportunity for this to happen, whether we tag beats or not, doesn't matter. We've made it available to the public. When you send beats out to these artists, you're putting your trust within these artists, okay? Not to say that some of them are not trustworthy or that most of them are not. It's not saying that at all. It's just saying that you have made the commitment, so you have to take part of the blame. So my friend, I must express to you once more, establish your brand, expand your brand, be proactive about your brand. Make sure that you have an impromptu social media campaign in case something like this happens. I mean, another tactic you can use is take the instrumental and run it through TuneCore, one of these song distributors, and basically have anything that shows up with the content ID that matches your instrumental, it basically gets flagged and you get paid for it. If you want to get paid for it, you have it taken down, and that includes the artists that use your music. At that point in time, if they don't want to talk paperwork and negotiations, they're gonna want to talk to you about it, especially if they want to get this out there for streaming and see other opportunities, financial opportunities for that song. You know, we gotta stop playing the victim. We gotta be proactive, and we have to figure out the route that works best for us. Maybe going the placement route is not the best route for you. You gotta decide that. This is your business. Once again, this is Curtis King of Airbit.com. Have a good one.
Airbit.com